Which one of these scenarios would you rather find yourself in? First, let us imagine that it is the year 1845, and you are a sailor on a merchant ship traveling from London to New York. Suddenly, a violent storm appears out of nowhere, and before you know it, your ship has been dashed upon the rocks, and you find yourself washed up on a deserted tropical island with nothing but the clothes on your back, and perhaps a few items that you were able to grab from the wreckage, such as some food and water. But you soon discover that this paradise is not so idyllic. There is no fresh water, and any rainwater is quickly evaporated by the tropical sun. The only source of fresh water is a small stream far inland, but it is guarded by a troop of angry baboons. Food is also scarce, consisting mainly of coconuts and fish. However, there are also deadly sea creatures around the island, including sharks, poisonous fish, and creepy crawlies. Plus, there is the constant threat of hurricanes and other storms. What will you do? Will you stay by the shore and wait for rescue, or venture inland to try and find fresh water and food? Here? How long can you survive? Now let's go back in time to ancient Rome. It is the year 79 AD. And you are a wealthy Roman citizen living in a luxurious villa with a swimming pool, slave to serve you, and all the delicacies of the Roman Empire at your fingertips. Wake up early, have breakfast with your family, then take a stroll down to the market to buy fresh produce for the evening meal. On the way home, you might stop by the baths for a relaxing soak, followed by a visit to the gladiator training school, where you watch fierce fighters prepare for the next day's games. In the evening, you dine with your family, perhaps enjoying some dormice as a snack. Afterwards, you retire to your villa and sleep in your silk pajamas. But wait, don't be so quick to dismiss this option. As we all know, ancient Rome was a city of stark contrasts, and your life might not be quite so rosy. In fact, you could just as easily be a poor person living in one of the crowded insulae, or apartment blocks in the slums of Rome. Your day would be filled with the same activities. But instead of fine food and silk pajamas, you'd be eating stale bread and sleeping on a straw mattress in a room shared by dozens of other people. If you're unlucky enough to live on the top floor, you might need to make frequent trips up and down the stairs as there is no toilet in your apartment block. And don't forget the gladiators. They might be fierce fighters, but they're also smelly and bloodthirsty. Just ask any of the people who accidentally wandered into their training area and lived to tell the tale. So which would you rather be, a wealthy Roman or a pauper? Next, let us imagine that you are an explorer trapped in the Arctic, circled with nothing but your wits and a small supply of food and water. The temperature plummets to unimaginable lows, and you find yourself battling frostbite, hunger, and thirst. Polar bears stalk you through the snowdrifts, and ice storms threaten to bury you alive. As the days turn into weeks, your food and water supplies dwindle, and you must push on through the freezing wasteland in search of help. All the while, you cut and help but count the days and pray that you do, and lose your mind or succumb to scurvy before you're re-rescued. How long can you survive? Finally, let's transport you back in time once again to a 12th century castle. You are either a brave knight or a lowly servant, and your day-to-day life revolves around the whims of the nobility. Harsh winters can make life in the castle a real challenge, and you might find yourself spending a lot of time huddled around a small fire with a handful of other people. The threat of invaders is always present, and you might find yourself spending many sleepless nights listening to the wind whistling through the crenellations of the castle wall. Toilets in medieval castles were often located precariously above the castle moat, meaning that you had to cross a drawbridge in order to use them. And the food, well, it might be plentiful, but it often consisted of strange and unusual dishes that you might not be too keen on eating. Perhaps you'll find yourself dining on swan, peacock, or dormouse. Which would you rather be, a knight or a servant? Let's move on to the next scenario. Next, you find yourself deep in the Amazon jungle, and you're lost. The trees are tall and thick. The air is hot and humid, and the only sounds you can hear are the rustling of leaves and the buzzing of insects. You try to retrace your steps, but it seems that no matter where you go, you end up deeper in the jungle than ever before. You spot some strange plants and wonder if they're poisonous or not. You hear a jaguar snarling in the distance, and you feel a growing sense of dread as you realize that you're in the middle of one of the most dangerous places on Earth. You need to find food and water to survive, and you need to find a way out of the jungle before it's too late. Can you escape the Amazon alive?